What makes a flag good? What makes a flag bad? I think we can all agree Proud to be Pocatello is horrific. It's the flag of a small town in Idaho, but those mountains look like they've been drawn by a small child at a restaurant who has foolishly been given a crayon, and now they're drawing on the tablecloth. And it has a trademark and a copyright. In 2004, NAVA released the findings from the American City Flag Survey, and according to the survey, the Pocatello Proud to be Pocatello flag was ranked 150 out of 150. But what about something like Pocatello's redesign? I mean, it has to be better than the previous atrocious mess because there isn't anywhere to go but up, but compared to other flags, how could someone objectively rank some as better than others? Well, unfortunately, vexillology is the study of flags, not the scientific pursuit of ranking them on some set of subjective standards. But the North American Vexillological Association has a booklet for that purpose anyway. Good Flag, Bad Flag, How to Design a Great Flag. It outlines 5 principles for good flag design, so let's see what they say. 1. Keep it simple. The flag should be so simple that a child can draw it from memory. So, for example, Japan. Even if I can't draw a circular circle, it's still simple enough to attempt to draw well enough to be reasonably identifiable. 2. Use meaningful symbolism. The flag's images, colors, or patterns should relate to what it symbolizes. Like St. Lucia, the blue stands for the sea and the sky, and it represents the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The black and white represents the harmonious relationship between the people of black and white races on the islands. The yellow stands for prosperity and sunshine, and the triangles represent the pitons and unity. 3. Use 2 or 3 basic colors. Limit the number of colors on the flag to 3 which contrast well and come from the standard color set, such as Jamaica, which is the only country that doesn't use red, white, or blue in its design. 4. No lettering or seals. Never use writing of any kind or an organization's seal. So take Illinois, for example. And let's compare it to New Mexico. Yeah. 5. Be distinctive or be related. Avoid duplicating other flags, but use similarities to show connections. A good demonstration of this principle is Italy, which uses vertical bars like France to represent revolution. Trust me, I read its Wikipedia page. I don't have to say that Proud to be Pocatello fails all of these. You have eyeballs, except for the last one. It's certainly distinctive. But this last point is where a lot of official country flags fail. It's here we get to the actual point of this video. Now, I don't know if you're all vexillology nerds like me, but if you've ever tried to learn the country flags because you're naive and or bored, you might know that there are some flags that are mildly similar. Yeah, so, Monaco, Indonesia, what are you two doing? Do you not understand the sheer amount of psychic damage I experience every single time I remember you to exist? Now, to be completely fair, they are slightly different. And by slightly, I mean slightly. Indonesia's is slightly longer, and they are slightly different shades of red, but not enough to be able to tell the difference when presented with only one. If you're sitting here as a non-vexillology nerd, first of all, why are you here? And second of all, you might be wondering about a certain other red and white flag that's very similar. If you were thinking about Poland, good job. It's the same, but upside down, so if you're in a pinch, I'm sure you can make it work. And no, before you ask, none of these are inspired by the others. Monaco's flag is based on the colors of the House of Grimaldi, the royal family. These colors date back to at least 1339, and the current flag dates back to 1881, so just a few years ago. The red represents the flesh of the body, and the white represents purity. Pretty standard symbolism, but at least it's reasonable. It wasn't just, ooh, pretty color like some people. Looking at you, Pocatello. On the other hand, Indonesia's flag is based on the colors of the
It's the Mahajapit, Majapahit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit.
the colors of the Majapahit Empire, and it has been official since Indonesia got its independence in the late 1940s. The red represents the courage and blood of the Indonesian people, and the white represents purity. And while we're at it, Poland's red represents love and white represents purity. The official colors were adopted in 1831, but have been associated with the country for longer than that. There has also been some times between then and now Poland just wasn't a country. I'm sure it's fine. Also, am I the only one that thinks it's funny how 3 countries across the world from each other can end up with very similar color symbolism? I mean, Monaco and Poland are kind of plausible because they're both in Europe, but given that they're still 1,000 miles from each other, it's still unlikely. But why should you care? Because I doubt this is going to affect your daily lives. Well, if you're Monacan or Indonesian or even Polish, maybe it will. But this isn't just about those countries. There are lots of other flags that are nearly identical, like, for example, Chad and Romania in this house by my bus stop, and Andorra and Moldova. But it isn't about those countries either. This is about informing people of my suffering. If even a single one of you can't be normal about flags after all of this, then I've done my job because now you share my burden. I'm not trying to tell any countries to change their current flag, unless they want to. That's always an option. I am one single person with an opinion, and I don't live in any of these countries, so there's no reason to care about my opinion. Just keep the 5 principles of vexillology with you as you go and judge flags in the real world. If any of you have to design a flag or a logo for anything anytime in the future, keep them in mind. We don't need another copy of Monaco, or Romania, or any other flag for that matter. There's a reason the last principle is be distinct, so make a statement with your flag that isn't plagiarized. You can take inspiration from Monaco or Poland or Indonesia. Those colors and styles have history and they have meaning behind them, and no matter which flag you choose, any of them would be a great color palette for a children's hospital.